Vance, media day. I remember I asked you. The first thing I asked you off record, I was asking you
Thank
about
you.
why
Okay.
did you why did you come here, and you told me why not, to be to be that person, that mentor, and everything.
Hmm.
But how did this season help you out as far as being around these young guys and being around this organization?
Every year. I don't care where I've been. The season helps me out. I learn a little bit about a lot of things. You know, whether it's the new trend, the new saying, the new dance, new handshake. Uh, but just, I mean, you just I've got the opportunity to learn, you know, about some guys that I didn't know. That's been around the league for a while, as far as like Bays and Dedman and just different approaches uh, and got the opportunity just to help some young guys out. I mean, I knew John, watching him obviously, and Torian from playing him, but it's another thing obviously sitting in between. And the two of them and having a lot of conversation all year about things and just seeing the growth in the questions they ask off the court and as well as on the court. And it's been fun, and I've learned a lot. And we take things for granted sometimes, like what we know and what others don't know. And it's been fun to be able to be an open door for these guys when at any time they can come and just we chat, whether I know the answer or not. I can give them my opinion, and they trust that, and that's a great position to be in. It's a great feeling when you can leave a conversation, and sometimes we double back of those conversations um, just to catch up sometime. And it's just been a great year all around, on and off the court. Um, the culture that's been built here, or that we're trying to build here, as far as just like camaraderie, creating conversations with each other from our team dinners and stuff like that, is so minute but yet important, because it's like the world today, you can sit in a room and let's say guys are waiting for the professor to talk, or your guest speaker to talk, and what was everybody doing? Straight on the phone. And our dinners have created us, well, let me rephrase it, our dinners have forced us to, hi Dee Dee, our dinners has forced us to kind of communicate, get to learn each other. And that's one thing, and this is tied into my basketball camp, this is kind of being a dad now, but that's one of the things, like at my basketball camps, I always stress to our campers. It's like we had a lot of kids coming in from out of the country and coming from different sides of towns or different states. And just, hey, just have a conversation. We try to force them to have conversations. So in my basketball camps, we don't do just basketball camps. We call it our education station. So we go in and we try to tie in basketball with education and skills. Like we have words of the day. So whatever that word is, say our word is vision. So we talk about obviously basketball on the court and try to incorporate that off the court. And I feel like that is so important with tying things in. And the same thing applies here with guys that are making millions, just trying to be able to tie in the team dinners and learning about a new guy or your teammate that you might have known a little bit, and learning some more. So when you step on the court, you're going to go fight for that guy just because of what you've learned about him and what he's been through. Like some of the things I learned about A-Lin and his background was just unreal. And I had many battles with him. We were going toe to toe. We were about to fight each other a couple years ago. And it's just amazing now. It's just, he's a guy that I would go to war with any day. It's just pretty cool how it all works. Sorry for the long answer.
When you
Vince,
see Sacramento, I'm sorry. When you see Sacramento and the jump they made this season, making a push for the playoffs, and then coming to Atlanta, what are some of the similarities that you see between kind of the two teams' rivals?
Well, I hate to compare. I mean, it's not fair to either side, but when you see a group of talented guys that are trying to find themselves and learn what it takes to become a professional, and they're accepting the constructive criticism with open arms because they want to get better. They're willing to put the work in to get better for the bigger picture. Obviously, they're all trying to accomplish a goal. That's the kind of similarities, and it makes it easy to come to work. Like, I enjoy coming to work regardless of our record. it's easy to kind of to feel miserable each and every day when you say, "Oh man, we just lost 3 in a row. We just gave a game away. Blah blah blah. We should be better." Yeah, of course. And yet, we still come every day and work. I mean, even when we have some bad losses. We had 4 or 5 game losing streaks, but when you walk into this gym, you still seeing everybody upbeat, and you would think we were on a 5-game win streak. And sometimes it's looked upon as like, gosh, you guys should be serious, you guys should take this approach. Well, that approach is still being handled, but guys are still enjoying coming to work to get better. And like I said last night, I like that guys take losses personal, particularly young guys. I know older guys, when you've been around and you've accomplished so much, games are important. And these young guys are taking that approach at a young age, and that's very positive in my opinion.
Vince, you're a mentor to a lot of these young guys. Is there someone you go to when you're looking for advice or?
Oh man,
questions? There's
so many guys that I still communicate with. It's not just one. I mean, obviously I see Kevin Willis on a regular. Dominique I talk to. Muggsy Bogues, somebody I talked to just recently. Any of these guys that I've had, I've had 200 plus teammates. So, but a lot of them that were older. I almost just call them old. A lot of them were older. I still reach out to and talk to on occasions. Del Curry. I mean, some of these guys who are on other teams, they still D Brown. I mean, I can just name a bunch of guys that just recently that I talk to when we play them and I see them. I definitely show them respect, and they still call me Rook. It's like so weird, man. Like D Brown was like, Rook. He likes to let everybody know that I was his Rook. I was like, yeah, we get it. It was 20 years ago. Let it go. But it's just it's great for me because I want to be the best leader I can for these guys because they were great for me. Like my first year, I had 5 guys that I could always go to and just talk about anything. And then once I was one of those guys, I like to learn the guys that I'm around. So when I have those conversations, it's kind of tailored to what you like to talk about or how you see the world or whatever. And so I had different conversations with each vet about different things or concerns or just things I wanted to learn or know. So I try to be that kind of veteran where these guys can call me at any time. I mean, even the new guys. Didi doesn't count, Deontay, because I've known him for a couple of years, so he already knows my policy. But like Isaac, we exchanged numbers. I told him at any point in time this year, whether I'm here next year, whether he's here or not, he's a teammate, he's a brother. We've gone out there and just gone to war together. So you're appreciated, and he's a young guy. It was cool. Like he was only here his first start, and I hate to put him on blast, but he was just he doesn't know me that well. He was like, just give me some advice on approaching my first start and how do I handle it. And we talked about it. And he was settled, and he went out there and handled his business, and he played well, for the minutes that he was given. So that's kind of who I want to be, just comforting, like almost a father figure type thing.
Vince, from what you've seen, what do you think the ceiling of this organization is, and how far away from the ceiling do you think it is?
It's up to these guys. I had the opportunity within today and yesterday to kind of talk to the young guys, and I told them, you always put that pressure. Our success all depends on you. So each guy's probably going home today. Lamari, I'm glad he didn't walk over here to hear this, but he's like, yo. But I told him, but it's just up to these guys. Like, how important is it to them? And we know that they're trying to accomplish a lot of things individually, but I think they've seen our potential and how well we've played, we can play and compete against some of the best that are going to be in the playoffs this year. You look at them like, hey, we played these guys. I mean, there's a couple of them that swept us this year, but we know that we can compete for it. So it's up to these guys to kind of have a big summer, kind of focus in on. It's like this is the first year is kind of like the honeymoon. It's like, oh, I'm in the NBA, everything's new. Now you go through the summer, you kind of know how to prepare or what you need to prepare for next year because it's the same coach. It's no I don't know what he wants. It's like it's established. You've seen how you're used, and obviously every player wants a little more rope and opportunity. So next year we hit the ground running, because a lot of the things that you have to go through as a new team, as a young team, you don't really have to start from the beginning anymore. So I think that'll help us.
What's your approach as far as off-season training versus determining your future? Do you start that before you know what your future is? Or
Absolutely. Nothing changes, and nothing will change, regardless of, if let's say in 3 years, if I know I'm not coming back, or in 2 years, or whatever that is, every summer is the same, regardless. And when that fire is not there, that helps me with my decision. You know what I'm saying? So, nothing will change. I'll probably take, I don't know, week or two off and kind of just continue to stay active, stay training, stay with some light training. No basketball though. That's another thing that kind of, so transition that to some other active movement like golf or something. So and from there I kind of ramp up. But I don't believe in, especially when you're older, allowing yourself to kind of get too far out of shape, because the comeback is real.
2 more, please.
Oh man, I got all day.
Oh, I know.
You ended up playing the 4 most of the year. You hadn't really done that a whole lot before this.
Oh yeah,
Or
I
a
did.
little bit in
Exactly. Yeah.
Sacramento. How's that different over a full season? Kind of knowing that's your role coming in. And I know you played 3 a little bit, but is that different for your body? How's that take a toll on
That's
you?
what I was gonna say, for the body more so than anything. But the game has changed a little bit. It's more that the 4 position is more the stretch forward than the power forward. If it's a power forward, it's a different story, and you just take a little more beating. And there's a few guys who are still the bruisers, the power forward, the traditional power forwards, but nothing changes. I mean, even if I had to guard the 2 guards and chase guys, I mean, I'm willing to do whatever. I prepare for it. I prepare myself as the 2, 3, 4 in the summer. So try to be in as good a shape as I can. Make sure my movement is good as possible, and make sure I'm strong enough to guard some of these guys. And I take pride in that, being that, not really I have the old man strength things. I had a couple of guys tell me that, so I'm not worried about that. It's just, I take pride in just wanting to guard some of these stars at that position for myself more so than anything. I'm at a disadvantage. It's probably height and weight, but pride takes over, and I'm able to play that position. I think if I didn't have those things, I probably wouldn't be in this league. A lot of teams have me playing the 3 anymore, but I think I can still play a little bit. Coach and I have argued about it. So every now and then I say, before the game, I say, I'm the 3 tonight. He said, no, you're the 4. All right, let's do it. I'm the 4. So it's one of those things, So it's fun for me. Like I said, it's little things like that are kind of the new challenges for me each and every game, or each and every month. It's like, he'll come and say, you're playing the 3. It's like, yes. So, everybody looks at age, and that's the kind of the frustrating thing, I think, for me in basketball. It's like we look at the age instead of what that player can do. If you didn't know my age, you're going to judge me off of my performance. And so for me, I make sure that I can perform at a young man's age, and whatever that entails. So nothing changes.
Is there something that you can do at age 42 within the 94 by 50-foot confines of a court that you couldn't do at age 41? Is there something that you learn year by year?
At 42 to 41?
Yeah, exactly. Is there something you learn that you can do now that you couldn't do a year ago?
Oh man. No, not that I can think of offhand. It's just, like I said, it's my preparation. I just prepare when I get the opportunity to play the small forward. So I applaud the young guys. So when I was playing, it's like, you want to guard this guy instead of this guy because he does a lot of running. And for me, I'm like, no, I want to guard the guy that's doing the running to prove that I can get over screens and, just things like that. So I think if that was one thing, I played strictly the 4 last year in SAC for the most part. But getting the opportunity to play 3, it was kind of good for me to see that at the tender age of 42, I can get through screens. I can guard some of the better players in the league. Maybe not for an entire game, but in stretches when I was needed and called upon, I was all for it. So it was a challenge for me that I enjoyed, and that's how I kind of stay engaged. And like I said, it's not about really the points for me more so than the success of the team. I kind of gauge my year off of when I'm in the game. I'm not really into the whole plus minus thing either, more so than when my unit, that the second unit's on the floor, are we effective? And we try to build that. We, meaning that whatever that second unit is early in the season, we try to build that relationship and that mentality early. So the success of our second unit is what really excited me. That I was able to do that and compete and play. Because I pride myself off of anything, is that being available for 82 games is kind of a big deal for me, more so than anything, because we play the whole he's 42. Are you gonna not play back-to-backs or whatever the case may be? And I'm like, it's like, I wish they would ask me that. I'm like, yeah, right, I'm playing. It was a struggle, and that I enjoyed doing the telecast, but it was a struggle. We had a nice little argument back there to sit out, because I prepared for it. I prepared to play 82 games, so I was like, nah, I'm good. It's like, nah, I can play, but I went home and thought about it. I was like, fine, TV is pretty good. It's fun. I need some practice in that too. So it was a great opportunity to do that, and I enjoy that just as much. So, but I prepare for 82 and to be available. And like I said, I go home, and that one of the first things I don't even say this much, but when I go home, it's not really looking at stats more so than how many games was I available for. And that's a big deal, I think, when obviously being available in your late 30s and 40s, which is not many of us. That's where I pride myself, and I feel good about the season individually. That's where I feel like that's my accomplishment. That's my rookie of the year. That's my MVP, because there aren't many guys doing it, and being that I'm the guy doing it, I want to set the tone for that next 40-plus-year-old playing. If you're going to do it, can you do it like that?